a Wednesday. It's a Caitlin Clark Wednesday. How grateful are we? How lucky are we in June? You know, this industry is football season and waiting for football, that Caitlin Clark has become a leading source of content. Or we could talk about Aaron Rodgers. I am for Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, trade rumors. And now, Colin Cowherd is throwing gasoline on the fire. He just broke his silence, and what he said might shake the entire WNBA to its core.
We got Colin Cowherd coming out and making some comments that I think are, in my opinion, pretty obvious. But if you're not ultra dialed into the league and you're just dialed into sports in general, I think these comments might surprise a lot of people. But he talks about Caitlin Clark and trading her away from the Indiana Fever.
If the Indiana Fever really let go of their biggest star, they're not just risking a rebuild, they're risking everything. Let's break down why Cowherd is warning the league and why he might be right.
Mac, the WNBA has arrived. Caitlin Clark's gotten really good really fast. It's like the end of year one for Michael Jordan or year three for Michael Jordan. She's gotten really good really fast. And you got to put a body on her, or you got to double team her, or she's going to embarrass you. She's shooting 33-footers. And what happened last night's a byproduct of that. This is what happened to MJ. She's number 1 and 2 in every offensive stat. She's hitting more threes this season than Steph Curry did in his first MVP season, and her game embarrasses you.
Colin Cowherd doesn't usually hold back, but when he started talking about Caitlin Clark trade rumors, even he seemed shocked by how far things have spiraled.
Let's give Caitlin Clark her due and let my man Colin Cowherd speak. Let go.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting.
Damn.
For the All-Star game.
Uh-oh.
The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers.
Yep.
They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose, and they don't like what it looks like.
How many times that happens in life, right? Because we all think we know what we want, right?
He called it out. This isn't about basketball anymore. This is sabotage with a whistle.
Let's talk about what y'all talking about, which is Caitlin Clark slighted, disrespected in the WNBA All-Star voting. This is crazy, right? So we all know who Caitlin Clark is. She's the golden goose, laying those golden eggs for the WNBA to prosper. Well, a lot of times we notice that the WNBA is resisting this golden goose and resisting this bump and this force of nature, which is Caitlin Clark.
Think about that. Clark, a rookie, is already the most valuable player in the league, not just by talent, but by economics. And yet the rumors say she's on the trade block. Not because she failed, not because the Fever are done with her, but because she's too successful, too fast. Cowherd sounded the alarm. Trading Clark wouldn't just hurt the Indiana Fever, it would crater the entire WNBA.
9th amongst guards in the league. This was one of the more frustrating things I saw yesterday, because there comes a point to me when thinking about Caitlin Clark being ranked as the 9th best guard in the league by her peers. It is either delusion or it is jealousy. Because when you watch Caitlin Clark play the game of basketball, they don't treat her like she's the 9th best guard. They don't pick her up full court like she's the 9th best guard. They don't blitz her after she crosses half court like she's the 9th best guard. They don't double team her like she's the 9th best guard. They don't foul her as though she's the 9th best guard. So to rank her as the 9th best guard leads me to believe it is either delusion or it is jealousy. That's what I'm led to believe. I can't suggest that it is, and I'm not speaking about an individual WNBA player. I'm speaking about the WNBA players, because how in the world do you vote her as the 9th best guard, though you treat her as the best, the 2nd best, or as worst, 3rd best guard?
He's not wrong. She's a once-in-a-generation draw. She's the reason why millions are watching. So why even entertain the idea of trading her? Because this goes way beyond basketball. The signs have been there. Clark's minutes are down. She's getting benched at key moments. The Fever's new coach clearly doesn't run the offense through her. And it's not subtle. Clark is being sidelined, not by injury, but by design. Colin Cowherd pointed out that this isn't a coaching mismatch, it's a setup. He said Clark didn't just get benched, she got politically sidelined. And fans agree.
Iowa girl, Indiana girl, Well, who knows, and I've said this for years, when the wave hits, ride it. You don't know what it looks like. Don't fight it. When Puka Nacua went in the 5th round of the Rams and they suddenly in camp went, oh, we just found a new #1 receiver. He's better than Cooper Kupp. They didn't fight it. And then a year in, they're like, I'm going to go with Brady. They didn't fight it. And Drew Bledsoe was still very, very good. So, there's obviously a racial component here. The WNBA players, they just don't like what the wave looks like.
Okay, that's Colin's way of saying, y'all don't like this white girl being the one when all these sisters been running this league. And that resentment, the pettiness, he's saying. Because Colin don't really go there in terms of race stuff. But the point is, he's like, y'all really gonna mess up this opportunity. And when I mean mess up, just show resistance to it.
The coach was hired not to empower Clark, but to control her. It's a power play, dressed up as team development. But anyone watching knows what's really happening. Clark was voted #1 by the fans, #3 by the media, but by the players, 9th. Let that sink in.
If somebody hates you, other people are going to love you just because other individuals hate you. So when I think about Caitlin Clark and the dilemma she's facing currently with the W, you voted the 9th best guard by your peers, and why don't they treat you like the 9th best guard? They don't, because there has to be some version of delusion here or some version of jealousy. But also, Caitlin, because so many people praise you, other people are going to hate you. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that WNBA players hate her. The word hate is subjective.
9th, Dick Vitale called it out. It's pure jealousy. Clark has delivered charter flights, salary bumps, and full arenas. And yet, she's being punished. Why? Because she became the face of the league overnight. And not everyone's comfortable with that. Cowherd said it best. They don't like what the golden goose looks like. The players once demanded the spotlight. Now that it's here, some of them are covering their eyes.
They wanted to fly private. They wanted to be more popular. They wanted a better deal in the CBA, which they'll get. They wanted sold-out arenas. They got it. They don't necessarily think it should be this.
You ever had that? You wanted something, but then to get it, you got to go to him, go to her, and you don't like her, you don't like him, you don't like it. Do you want it?
But again, you can't fight it. You just never know what success looks like. I mean, if every company in the country would love to go viral every day for free marketing. If they knew how to do it, they'd all be viral every day.
Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's carrying an entire league. A university finance professor crunched the numbers. Clark drove over 12% of the WNBA's economic activity in her rookie year. She's already signed a $128 million deal with Nike. The WNBA's merchandise sales exploded when she arrived. Viewership up by over 50% when she plays. Her draft alone drew 2.45 million viewers. Let that sink in. A rookie from Iowa made that happen. So what does the league do? Start floating trade rumors.
Saw this today. It's fascinating. So a university professor in finance looked up the value of Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. This is insane. So this year, last season in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark was 26.5% of all economic activity as a rookie on the worst team in the league when she entered it. So now she has an 8-year, $128 million deal with Nike. So, she's going to eat. Merchandise in the league went up off a rookie from a Midwest-based school on the worst team in the league, 234%. But here was the one that struck me. So before she got there, the Indiana Fever, the valuation of the franchise was $90 million. Remember, they play a short season. It's not like the NBA where it lasts like 6 months. After playing, 40 games, the valuation of that team now is $340 million.
Hire a coach with a history of sidelining her and act shocked when people question their logic. Cowherd warned them, you don't trade that. You protect it like the Ark of the Covenant. This isn't about stats. This is about control. Cowherd called it out again. The last thing they want is a player with actual leverage. Clark isn't just good, she's popular, powerful, and unbenchable. So the league is doing the one thing it knows how to do: smother the spotlight. They're trying to shrink her down bit by bit until she fits their mold. Cowherd compared it to sabotage: hire the one coach who doesn't support her, bench her in key games, use buzzwords like system fit and team balance to hide the agenda. He said they don't want her leading, they want her diluted. And fans can see it. Every benching, every vague post-game quote, every quiet move behind the scenes. This isn't a culture shift, it's a campaign, a carefully crafted effort to take control back from a player who became too big, too fast. So what happens if they actually trade her? Colin Cowherd says it plain. It would be a flaming middle finger to progress, fans, and the future of the league. If Clark gets traded, the Fever lose their only real draw. The WNBA loses its momentum, and the fans, they walk. She's not just a player, she's the storyline, the highlight reel, the ratings spike. And if you trade that away, you're not rebuilding, you're vanishing. Cowherd's final warning was sharp. Don't blame Clark when the fans leave. Look at the coach, look at the front office, look at the league that let it happen. Because Clark isn't the problem, she's the progress. And if they drive her away, she won't be the villain, she'll be the escape artist. If the WNBA trades Caitlin Clark, they're not just losing a star, they're losing their soul. She changed the game, she brought the fans, she raised the bar. And now, they want to act like it's too much? Give us a break. This is the kind of short-sighted move that people never forget. So what do you think? Should Clark stay and fight, or walk away and take her power with her? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like button if you believe the league needs to do better. And don't forget to subscribe. We're exposing every twist in this drama, one video at a time.
This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition.
The WNBA has lost control of the Caitlin Clark hate, and it's spiraling fast. What started as physical play has now become dangerous targeting, on-court attacks, online abuse, players taking cheap shots with no consequences, and the league. They're just letting it happen.
Is anybody on this team going to stand up for Caitlin Clark? J.C. Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting there, I'm like...
Game after game, Clark is the target. Her coach is furious. NBA stars are speaking out. Even the media is now asking if the WNBA has completely lost control. And with every hit, every missed call, the league's reputation takes another blow. Fans are turning on the WNBA. Sponsors are watching closely. And here's the scary part. If this keeps going, it could destroy everything Caitlin Clark has built for the league. So, how did it get this bad? And can the WNBA even stop it now? Let's break it all down.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever.
Gets bumped, will take, and hit from 3.
This is no longer about one game. It's not about one fight. The WNBA's Caitlin Clark problem is a pattern, and everyone can see it.
Shady McCoy, Caitlin Clark, does she have a target on her back?
Yes, she does, but that's okay. You know, it's funny, man. I think when we talk about women's basketball, it's like we separate it from other sports, right? From football, from basketball, NBA, and we shouldn't. She come in the league with so much hype, and she deserves it.
The targeting of Clark started in her first season, but now it's reached a dangerous new level. Just look at the numbers. Over 17% of all flagrant fouls this season committed against Caitlin Clark.
17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season have been committed against Caitlin Clark.
Hey!
Ocho.
Yes, sir.
17% of the WNBA flagrant fouls have been committed against Clark. The Chicago Sky were responsible for 80% of the flagrant fouls committed against Clark. But you know what, Ocho? It's the great white high. There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. Hey, there were some women. I ain't gonna call y'all name. Y'all had a lot to say. Y'all even tagged me. Why y'all tagging?
And that's only what's been called. In game after game, Clark is getting hacked, grabbed, shoved. And more often than not, the referees let it go. It's not just bad officiating, it's a league-wide failure. Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White said it best. This has been happening all season long. It's a league-wide issue.
What was going on with the chip is there, and what explanation were you given for the tech that you got?
I'll take the official questions. There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. You know, I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition.
And when coaches are calling out the league in post-game interviews, you know something is seriously wrong. Because this isn't just physical basketball anymore, it's hate. The hate for Caitlin Clark is now the biggest story in the WNBA, and it's growing out of control. On-court attacks like the recent eye poke and body check, players targeting Clark game after game, and online, the abuse is just as bad. The WNBA's leadership has failed to stop it. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, silent. The referees losing control of the games. And now it's turning into a public relations disaster. Fans are calling the league a circus. NBA stars are speaking out. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Paul George, all defending Clark and criticizing what's happening.
You know, like, even in my Minnesota days, man, I've always taken a loyalty to all the players that's on the team. And yeah, man, it helps confidence, it helps continuity, you know, and then too, for that to be your best player, you gotta protect the best player.
And fans are starting to lose faith in the league. But here's where it gets even worse, because the WNBA's failure to act forced Indiana Fever players to take matters into their own hands. Sophie Cunningham has now stepped in as Clark's enforcer. Game after game, Cunningham is delivering a message to the rest of the league. Touch Clark and deal with me. And it's working, but it's also escalating the spectacle.
And eventually, Sophie Cunningham had enough. Oh yeah. Sophie Cunningham had enough. Folks, shout out to Sophie Cunningham. We wanted somebody like this that said, I'm tired of this. I'm trying to step up. It's time to step up. We're not going to get punked anymore. We're not going to get pushed around anymore. We're not going to get treated like a little sister anymore, like a little brother anymore. We are going to start being the ones that say, you know what? We're not going to start the fight, but we damn sure will finish the fight.
Instead of basketball, we're seeing brawls. Headlines about fights, ejections, chaos. And fans are tuning in, not for the sport, but for the drama. This is not sustainable. The league's image is being damaged. The story is no longer about the talent on the court. It's about the league's failure to protect its biggest star. And here's the part the WNBA should really fear: ratings. When Caitlin Clark missed 5 games, ratings tanked. Attendance dropped. Sponsors noticed. Owners are now terrified. Another injury to Clark could undo everything the league has built. And with every cheap shot, every missed call, the risk gets higher.
Yeah, right? If you look at this, the viewership, right? People ain't just watching WNBA just to watch it. They're watching it because of Caitlin Clark. Yes, sir. And I'm guilty of it because I'm one of them guys. Oh, is Caitlin playing today? I'm watching it. Oh, she's hurt? I'm not even tuning in.
But the league's failure is doing more than hurting ratings. It's dividing the fans. The WNBA's refusal to fix the officiating has fueled a culture war. Now, it's not just Fever fans against other teams. It's Caitlin Clark fans against the WNBA itself. And that's the worst possible outcome, because when your biggest fan base is rooting against the league, you have a real problem. The WNBA has created this problem, and now they may not be able to stop it. The targeting of Caitlin Clark is no longer just a story inside the league. It's become a national conversation. Media, fans, NBA stars, Everyone is watching how the league handles this, and right now, they're not handling it at all. The hate is only getting worse. Every game adds fuel to the fire, and with each cheap shot, each no call, more fans turn against the league. More voices speak out, and the WNBA's reputation takes another hit. The truth is simple. The league needs Caitlin Clark. Without her, ratings drop, attendance drops. The entire business of the WNBA is tied to her success. But if the league continues to let this hate spiral out of control, they risk losing everything she's built. And here's the scary part. If Clark gets injured, if another attack sidelines her, the damage to the WNBA could be permanent. So now the question isn't whether the league has lost control of the Caitlin Clark hate. They already have. The real question is, can they take it back before it's too late?